if the time comes, I will choose what is dearest to my heart and work on that 100%.
Something shocking occurred, and it came from someone we barely know. Barron Trump, the Trump family's youngest and most reserved member, recently made a bold declaration that surprised everyone. For years, he remained behind the scenes as his family made headlines, gave interviews, and lived in the spotlight. Barron, 19, is finally speaking out, and what he has revealed has sparked a flurry of speculation. Is he referring to his future plans, his well-known father, or is this something nobody could have predicted? One thing is abundantly clear. This is not the quiet Barron we all know. What changed, and what does this mean for Trump's legacy going forward? We must go back to get the full picture, as the hints were there all along. Barron Trump, the mute observer, is finally moving forward. Barron Trump is the most enigmatic member of the Trump family. Barron remained in the background as his siblings made waves, ran businesses, conducted interviews, and built their brands. There was nothing but silence. No interviews, media appearances, or dramatic headlines. Still, don't be misled. Just because he was quiet doesn't mean he wasn't watching. Barron, unlike most children, did not grow up. Barron was experiencing a very different reality, while others were riding bikes down the street or celebrating birthdays at the local pizza restaurant. Imagine growing up in the world's most famous house. Barron was living in that world. Barron was only 10 years old when Donald Trump was elected in 2016. Barron remained in New York for a few months longer than the majority of presidential children who moved to Washington, D.C. right away. Before moving, Melania made certain that he finished his school year at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School. Though small, it revealed a lot about her level of protection against his experience. He made history when he moved into the White House. Barron became the first boy to call that location home since John F. Kennedy Jr. in 1961. That is very significant. Barron, however, did not take center stage during that historic event. He missed the flashy press conferences and photo opportunities. He simply lived in silence. And, to be honest, life in the White House was not all glitz and glamour. Indeed, it sounds like a dream. Large rooms, elegant dinners, and constant attention. But the truth is quite different. It is defined by strict routines, constant surveillance, and complete lack of freedom. The Secret Service was always present. Any attempt at outdoor play or simple childhood was met with cameras, criticism, and a million eyes watching. That type of environment is especially taxing on a child who did not ask to be there. Melania did everything she could to protect Barron from the chaos. She kept him out of sight of the journalists. She rarely took him to public gatherings. It piqued his interest while also helping to protect his privacy. Unfortunately, there are many rumors as well. Online users became fixated on Barron, not in a positive way, but in the worst way possible. Rumors about his health, behavior, and even intelligence abound. Some criticized him for appearing too quiet or emotionless in public. Others even proposed strange conspiracy theories, describing him as a misunderstood genius or a secret master. Barron also lacked public protection, in contrast to other presidential candidates, such as Sasha and Malia Obama and Chelsea Clinton, who had supporters rush to their side in the face of unfair targeting. It felt different, colder, more intrusive. Even media personalities and comedians crossed the line by mocking him, incorporating him into political jokes, and laughing at his name. Barron said nothing. No interviews, no refutations, no emotional Instagram posts, and remained silent throughout. And the quiet only added to the mystery. Barron sat silently, watching, learning, and seeing how the world treated his family and him while Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric made headlines for political statements or business moves. This is where it gets interesting, though. Barron was already forming his own identity behind the scenes, while everyone else was busy trying to identify him. He wasn't just sitting still, he was preparing, possibly for something far grander than any of us realized. As he transitions from adolescence to adulthood, he's starting to show signs that he's ready to break the silence. Those close to the family have noticed minute but significant differences. And once again, there is a buzz about him. This time, it is motivated by his future plans rather than rumors. So, over the years, what has Barron Trump been secretly developing? And why is everyone suddenly paying attention? Barron's outstanding accomplishments. Barron Trump has spent the majority of his life as a mystery character in the Trump family narrative. Barron remained in the background as the world watched his father dominate headlines and his siblings take center stage. No interviews, no social media drama, and very few public appearances. Exactly, silence. But recently, that silence has begun to fade for a very specific reason. Barron celebrated some significant anniversaries in May 2024. He graduated from Oxbridge Academy, a reputable private school located in Palm Beach, Florida. However, the celebration was surprisingly subdued, as opposed to the large, extravagant Trump-style party that one would have expected. There were only his parents present to witness him entering a new phase of his life. No loud announcements or attention-grabbing speeches. Still, this is the critical point. This was more than simply finishing high school. It indicated something more than just. Barron was finally in control of his own direction. Not only was Trump the youngest, but he was also prepared to make personal decisions. His next move as well? People started paying attention there, though. Barron surprised everyone, as many expected him to follow in Donald Trump's footsteps, including real estate deals and the entire empire. He decided to attend the Stern School of Business at New York University, and that decision spoke volumes as well. This extended beyond simply selecting a university. It was about going off course. Barron defied the trend by attending the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School, where his father, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Tiffany also studied. And he did it silently, without explanation. Was this his strategy for escaping the shadow of the Trump legacy? Perhaps especially given Stern's standing. The institution is demanding, competitive, and well known for developing creative minds in the fields of entrepreneurship, technology, and business. Barron, who grew up surrounded by headlines and sales, could find the perfect setting to write his own story. And he's doing it in silence. There are no viral posts or interviews, only calculated moves and quiet confidence. The next question is, what lies ahead? Given what we know about Barron Trump, nothing he does appears haphazard. Every step seems to fit into a bigger picture. And the fact that he is now taking the initiative to make important announcements indicates something significant. What is it exactly? You will want to stay around and learn. Barron Trump's most contentious issues. Barron Trump may have spent most of his life away from the public eye, but has he avoided the media's drama and controversies? What exactly happened, from controversial social media posts to elite college scandals? Barron Trump's admission to New York University's Stern School of Business was more than just another wealthy kid going to a prestigious university. The son of one of the most divisive figures in contemporary American politics entered a historically liberal environment. Naturally, his presence at university was widely reported. The dispute began when Kaya J. Walker, the president of the college Republicans, spoke to Vanity Fair about her role as a young conservative on campus. Barron was gently mentioned in the article as an anomaly at university. That one oddity was enough to ignite a firestorm. Trump supporters seized on the remark, accusing Walker of alienating Barron and implying he was unwelcome even among conservatives. She was eventually forced to leave her position due to the strong reaction. Later, Walker attempted to explain, claiming that her words had been taken out of context. She insisted that she was only noticing the unusual nature of Barron's attendance at NYU, not trying to offend him. But the damage had been done. The matter sparked a heated debate. Was the indignation justified or exaggerated? Some argued that Barron, as the president's son, should expect to be scrutinized wherever he goes. Others thought it was unfair to single him out when he had done nothing to warrant negative comments. Fascinatingly, Barron never publicly addressed the issue. Those close to him claimed he wanted to stay out of the drama, but it was revealed behind closed doors that he was unhappy about being the center of a political firestorm. Nonetheless, the episode proved one thing. Barron Trump couldn't shake the weight of his surname, even in an environment where he was attempting to carve out a typical college experience. There was a social media storm. Has Barron overreached himself? The Trump family's only area of expertise is social media stirring techniques. Nobody expected Barron to be the one creating news online. A post claiming to be from Barron Trump surfaced in March 2025. The quickly viral message read, "They don't call him Zelensky for nothing." referring to claims that Ukraine received billions of dollars in U.S. aid during its conflict with Russia. It appeared to be a jab at Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The post immediately sparked debate. Viewers criticized Barron's comment as callous, accusing him of disparaging Ukraine's leader during a time of crisis. Political analysts broadly condemned the remark as tone-deaf and careless. However, here, the complications became even more pronounced. Was the story even true? Regardless of the criticism, no official confirmation that Barron owned the account was provided. Some speculated that it was a bogus fan account set up by someone looking to spark controversy. Others believed Barron's post was merely an offhand remark blown out of proportion, even though he made it. The Trump family declined to confirm or deny Barron's involvement, remaining silent on the matter. Social media channels battled to confirm the account's veracity, but no clear solutions emerged. Whether Barron wrote the post or not, the incident highlighted a major challenge he must overcome. His name alone would incite a riot. Barron appears to prefer a more subdued life, whereas his father thrives on debate. However, as this situation demonstrated, he is not always free of drama. Financial firewalls are an incredible banking turnoff. Turning to the financial side, it appears that the Trump name does not always open doors. Melanie published a memoir in October 2024, which included a startling disclosure. Barron, then 18, was turned down when he tried to open a personal bank account. The First Lady claims that a long-standing bank denied Barron's request to open a new account. Melanie stated in her memoir, "I was shocked and dismayed to learn that my longtime bank decided to terminate my account and denied my son the opportunity to open a new one." Despite the fact that the bank provided nebulous explanations for the denial, Melanie also stated that she never specifically mentioned Barron's relationship with the Trump family as the cause of the denial. She believed it was no accident, given that the aftermath of the Capitol riots on January 6th had caused financial institutions to avoid anything associated with the Trump brand. The allegation naturally sparked a political firefight. Conservative media sources rallied behind Barron, citing the episode as evidence of Trump derangement syndrome gone too far. Critics, on the other hand, questioned whether Melania's claims were overblown and speculated that there could have been other reasons for the rejection. The lack of confirmation from the bank exacerbated the story's ambiguity. No institution stepped forward to confirm or deny the allegation, leaving the public to speculate. Though the incident had a lasting impact and supports the notion that, fair or not, the Trump name carries baggage that extends far beyond politics, no one knows whether Barron was able to obtain a bank account despite the controversy. Inside Barron Trump's private life, including his relationship with Melania, secret activities, and love life, Barron Trump has mostly avoided the bold, headline-grabbing events that defined his father's career, but it's clear that controversy follows him whether he wants it or not. Melania Trump has effectively kept Barron out of the public eye. What happens behind closed doors? Here's what we've learned about their close relationship and his unusual interests. The youngest Trump prefers to stay in the background, whereas most children from well-known families seek attention. However, his mother, Melanie Trump, is the one person he never leaves behind. Barron has been well protected, thanks in large part to Melanie's dedication. But what is their relationship really like? Melania Trump has always prioritized Barron, as is widely known. Barron had a very different upbringing than Donald Trump's other children, who were raised in the midst of his real estate empire and reality TV career. Melanie checked to make sure. Donald was running businesses and then the country, while Melanie looked after Barron's needs. She drove him to school, helped him with his homework, and kept him out of the media spotlight. Melanie was clearly focused on Barron even during Trump's presidency and was frequently seen prioritizing Barron over White House responsibilities. Melanie insisted on Barron's childhood being as natural as possible, which was one of the most talked about aspects of their relationship. She purposefully delayed entering the White House after Trump's 2016 election victory to allow Barron to finish the school year in New York. Although some questioned her decision, insiders say she was motivated to not disrupt his life more than absolutely necessary. Melanie remained protective throughout Donald Trump's political career. She has only let Barron take the stage at a few family gatherings, giving him little opportunity to shine. Barron appears to rely on Melania more than anyone else. Barron's relationship with his mother is close, even though his older siblings are busy building their own brands. Given the level of scrutiny that comes with being a Trump, it's understandable why Melania has fought so hard to protect him. What does Barron do when he's not attending political events or dodging paparazzi? As it happens, he has some very interesting hobbies. Barron is said to be an avid gamer first and foremost. He reportedly spends hours playing video games, as do many other Generation Z teenagers. Sources say he particularly enjoys competitive online games. He can support any game, including FIFA, Call of Duty, and some lesser-known strategic games. However, Barron enjoys gaming more than just as a hobby. Insiders claim he has dabbled in small projects and is fascinated by game design. Given Donald Trump's well-known interest in business, Barron may finally enter the gaming industry as a developer or entrepreneur. That remains to be seen. Aside from gaming, Barron enjoys sports a lot. He stands 6 feet 7 inches tall, which gives him a clear advantage in basketball. He reportedly played on school teams and has a strong passion for football, which he has enjoyed since a young age. Barron appears to enjoy faster-paced sports than his father, who has always preferred golf and football. Finally, there's technology. Donald Trump has personally praised Barron's technological and computer abilities, noting that his son has a natural grasp of complex systems. Could Barron be the next in a line of young tech billionaires? Given his quiet intelligence, this would not be unexpected. Having a well-known last name makes genuine friendship difficult. Barron's friendships are more important than most teenagers, who can hang out without thinking twice. Every person who gets close to him may betray his trust, leak information to the media, or use his surname for personal gain. Such pressure makes it difficult to form genuine friendships. According to sources, Barron has a close circle of friends, mostly from school and in the private sphere. He appears to prefer low-key events over ostentatious parties and public scenes, as his father does. Rather, he is said to enjoy private social gatherings, sporting events, and small gaming parties. Then one wonders a lot, is Barron Trump seeing anyone? Despite being in the public eye, Barron's romantic life has received surprisingly little attention. Barron Trump is 19 years old. He is one of the most striking figures to have ever passed through the halls of New York University, standing at an incredible 6 feet 9 inches tall. Barron has been labeled by some because he has sharp features and bears a striking resemblance to his mother Melanie. Still, is there truth to these whispers? Is it merely conjecture? For years, rumors about Barron's romantic life circulated on social media. A TikHub user named Maddie claimed to have dated Barron Trump while both were students at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School in New York City. Maddie claims their relationship ended when Barron changed schools, resulting in their distance. Barron and his family never confirmed anything, but the story went viral, with millions of views fueling curiosity. Then another name came to me, for Sarah Claire. Though no specific evidence emerged, reports linked her to Barron. However, when rumors of Barron's relationship with model Clara Jones began to circulate, the gossip mill came alive. In contrast to previous assertions, this one appeared to have some validity. According to sources, Barron and Clara have been seen together at a number of high-profile events. Was there nothing to disclose, or was he purposefully concealing his love life? Barron's special relationship with his father, Donald Trump. Barron Trump has always captivated audiences. And what's even more fascinating, his rapport with his father, Donald Trump. Given his austere business-first approach, some people believe Trump is a distant father. However, family sources provide conflicting information. Regarding Barron, the former president has a soft spot. Now let's get started. Barron William Trump, who was born in 2006, has always stood out from his older siblings. While Ivanka, Don Jr., and others grew up in the hectic New York corporate scene, Barron spent most of his childhood in public due to politics. Barron, however, stands out primarily for something else: his silence and unique method of acquiring knowledge from his father. Barron's interests are more modern, tech-savvy, and, dare we say, Gen Z-friendly than Don Jr. who has been nearly a carbon copy of his father's business personality. People also fail to realize that Barron has always been vocal about his father. Contrary to popular belief, he is more than just a quiet, compliant son sitting in the background. Insiders have suggested that Barron gives Trump unwelcome advice, particularly on technology and modern communication. Trump is not the most technologically savvy person, as is widely known. Indeed, he is all over social media, but mostly because of his candid approach rather than a thorough understanding of how the digital world works. Barron appears to have entered this here. According to family members, Barron has frequently encouraged his father to engage younger viewers. Remember this: Trump's support has always come from older voters. There are plenty of baby boomers and Gen Xers at his rallies who appreciate his direct approach. Barron, though, he understands that the world is changing and he appears to have pushed his father to adopt new strategies for engaging younger voters. Remember those meme-worthy videos and TikTok campaigns that circulated the internet? Barron, unsurprisingly, had some influence on this. Barron, like most teenagers, is a natural, even if his father may not understand the language of social media. Speaking of his father, Trump is not the type of person who freely compliments others. However, Barron does not hold back. Trump has spoken about Barron's intelligence for years, particularly in terms of business and technology. Trump once said of his youngest son, "He is quite smart but also quite tall." Despite the fact that Trump is a man who places a high value on intelligence and power, his remark is straightforward. During a Fox News interview coinciding with Barron's 19th birthday, Donald Trump recounted a story about his son's digital prowess. He told Donald about a time when Barron effortlessly powered a laptop, leaving him wondering how he did it. Barron's cheeky response, "None of your business, Dad," only added to the mystery. Donald concluded with obvious pride, he is quite technologically adept. But Trump's boasting about Barron's intelligence isn't the only thing raising concerns. He also mentioned that his son has an excellent understanding of business. According to family sources, Barron has been learning business lessons since a young age, despite the fact that he is not as publicly involved in the Trump organization as his older siblings are. Barron has been more observant than Don Jr. and Eric, who were thrust into the business world at a young age. He observes, gathers information, and, according to insiders, has gradually gained insight into how money moves and deals are conducted. Let us now discuss something unexpected: Barron's political influence. Barron has never expressed his political views, but sources claim he has had a greater influence on his father than most people realize. Barron's influence became increasingly clear as Donald Trump prepared for the 2024 presidential election. He recognized the changing media landscape and the need to reach younger audiences. Barron advised his father to interact with venues that cater to Generation Z and millennials. Many were surprised when senior campaign advisor Jason Miller revealed that Barron had a direct impact on his father's campaign strategy. Miller claims Barron personally recommended several podcasts and online platforms that Donald Trump should visit in preparation for the November 5th election. Miller, in an interview with Politico's Playbook Deep Dive podcast, revealed that every single recommendation he has made has caused the internet to crash. So, what are the findings? According to data from the Center for Information and Research on Civic Learning, Barron's strategic influence helped to change the young vote. Compared to 41% in 2020, 56% of male voters aged 18 to 28 supported Donald Trump in 2020-2024. This implies that Barron, despite his reserved demeanor, is well-versed in digital media and youth engagement, making him an invaluable asset in modern political campaigning. Aside from media appearances, Barron played a key role in organizing events featuring prominent figures from youth culture. At Mar-a-Lago, he hosted dinners for comedians and social media stars to strengthen bonds and discuss tactics for appealing to younger voters. These meetings were critical in developing a campaign narrative that would appeal to a demographic that had previously proven difficult for Donald's political outreach. The results of the elections demonstrated the impact of these projects. Exit polls showed Donald barely winning among male voters under the age of 30, a group that had previously supported his opponent. This shift highlighted Barron's strategy's success and his growing importance as a key advisor to his father's political activities. To be honest, Trump's internet presence appeared to be of interest to Generation Z at times. The tweets, the comebacks, and his participation in internet culture were all appealing to a younger, meme-worthy audience. Coincidence? Very likely not. The youngest Trump does not wear his feelings on his sleeve. However, something seems to have changed recently. Could his rare public display of emotion be due to a surprising family revelation? Barron Trump opens up and begins to cry. Huge revelation about his father. What is happening here? Barron Trump is clearly not correct. President Donald Trump's younger son has always been the most reserved member of the family, rarely making headlines and adeptly avoiding public scrutiny. But recently, something else has emerged. Whispers are swirling, and those closest to Trump have noticed a shift in Barron's attitude. He's been more reflective, emotional, and, if insiders are to be believed, on the verge of revealing a shocking truth about his father. So, what is actually happening? What do you think might be wrong? Let us consider and hypothesize. Barron may have spent most of his life trying to escape the shadow of his well-known father. But let's be honest here. Normal for Trump is not the case. The expectations, the pressure, the constant media speculation, anyone can find enough weight in it. But it is especially important for a young man who is just starting to define himself. And here's where it gets interesting. According to sources, Barron has been debating whether he should fully embrace the Trump name or distance himself from the political and commercial empire that defines his family. Far from politics, he has previously expressed an interest in technology, gaming, and cryptocurrencies. Could his alleged emotional flashpoint coincide with a decision to take a very different path? And if so, how does his father see it? However, there is another option available. Donald Trump has always set high standards for his family. He freely compliments Barron's intelligence, even suggesting that his youngest son may have the best business sense of any of his offspring. But what if Barron decides to go the opposite way? What happens if Barron finally shares his true goals, those who differ from Trump's ideals for the family legacy? Perhaps it was a difficult conversation. Perhaps there were tears. Barron may have had to stand his ground in ways that the public had never seen before. Here's another possibility. What if Barron is preparing to take on a more prominent role than anyone could have predicted, rather than separating himself? Hints of his behind-the-scenes advice to his father on interacting with younger audiences have already surfaced. Could he be preparing for public speaking to either honor his father or clear the air about his own future? The Trumps have never been consistent. Barron, despite his quiet demeanor, may be the most unpredictable of the bunch. One thing is abundantly clear about whatever lies ahead. Those are under observation, and Barron's next move could. This file runs for more than 30 minutes. TurboScribe.ai allows you to transcribe files up to 10 hours long using Go Unlimited.